All right, everyone. For today's video, we are doing something a little different. I am going to be showing you guys 3 kind of unique tips that Hatch kind of provides. Now, these tips aren't necessarily needed to use the program, but I just thought they're kind of cool and you guys might enjoy. So I went ahead and read both the user guide for Hatch 2. And you can see it's about 400 pages. They had a table of contents. They decided to remove the table of contents in the Hatch 3 user guide, which I thought was kind of interesting. But I do hope you guys find these 3 tips pretty useful. So I would recommend reading the user guide, but let's get right into it. So tip number 1 is using the different scroll options. So if you didn't know, you can actually scroll different ways just using your mouse. So if you go to the top, you go to software settings, embroidery settings, you can actually go all the way to the right. You're going to have this scroll bar. It's not necessarily a scroll bar, but more a scroll setting. So it'll say that if you hold Alt, it'll do something. If you hold Shift, it'll do something while using the scroll wheel. So right here, I'm holding Alt and it's doing a vertical scroll. If you just do the scroll wheel itself, it'll zoom in 2 times. Sorry, it'll zoom in 1.25 times, and then holding Control will do that horizontal scrolling. So that's the first tip to help speed up your embroidery. All right, tip number 2, we're going to be talking about the cycle used colors option and the color wheel. So I got the default design straight from the Hatch library, and this is just of a present. So if we go to customize design, you're going to have these 2 options. So cycle use colors and then the color wheel. So cycle use colors, you're just pretty much changing the colors that you've already selected and just putting them in different options on the actual present itself. So if you hit the color wheel, you can change any of those colors just using this color wheel. So if you would prefer any of the colors by just looking at the wheel, you can go and change it up, and then again, just keep cycling them through. So if you can't really decide on what colors that you want to use. This tip is super helpful for just if you're not really too sure on what colors. And then there's also the option to change the color scheme. So if you see that drop down, so you got harmonious, complementary, triad, monochromatic, to help you kind of decide on some colors that you might not necessarily be too sure of. Now, I don't use this option too much because a lot of my designs are pretty straightforward. I'm either doing patches for the military or other stuff like that. But if you see some of these more colorful designs like this bird that's part of the library, using the cycle colors can help you kind of decide on which threads to put into your machine to get the best stitch out. So here we just got our designs and just hit the cycle use colors and get a whole bunch of different options. So for tip number 3, let's talk about the crop feature that's built inside of Hatch. So before I actually dug deep and found out about this feature, actually in the user guide, I would just either try and crop it in Microsoft Paint or Canva, but it has its own features built into the program. So you're going to go select your image, hit the crop option, and then the first one will just kind of be a default rectangle or square, however you decide to do it. Now you'll see on the drop down next to the icon that you'll have rectangle, oval, heart, a whole bunch of different star shapes, and also the curve, which we'll talk about. But again, you just drag over your image, what you want to crop out. So I got this elephant, and you can go ahead and crop it out. So that's the only thing that's visible. Now, the only issue with this is if you go to like measure it, it still keeps the whole image. So if you're trying to place it on a patch and change the dimension of the actual picture, it's better just do it out of the software. But if you don't want all these other animals to be shown, you can go ahead and just crop it quick and easy inside the program. Some of those other options we're going to talk about, again, dragging the heart over this elephant. I don't necessarily know why you would use either the heart or the stars, but the biggest thing to talk about is this curve option. So just like you're digitizing, you can go around your object and hit enter, and it's just, again, just like digitize a closed shape, it's going to go ahead and isolate that. So I got this black aces patch that I was working on, but if you just wanted to isolate the spade, you can go ahead and select the image, get your crop option, make sure you select curve, and then you can go ahead and just trace around the spade just like you were digitizing, just so that is visible. It's a super cool option. As you can see, I'm going around it. Just like digitizing, again, your left clicks, your right clicks are going to change if it's a curved node or a straight node. And you can also change it after the fact too. If you want to change one of the nodes from a straight to a curve, you can do that after the fact. But let's go ahead and again, once we got that last straight line, you're just going to hit enter. It's going to close off that shape, and that's the only thing really visible. If you decide to digitize that way, you can. Other than that, that kind of wraps up this video. So it's again short and sweet, and let me know in the comments if you knew about these features already, or if you learned something, or which feature actually was beneficial to your learning process.